Another cool thing while we're talking dyes is this. I wanted to create something where I had some much larger shapes that maybe you want to use on mixed media, on a canvas, maybe you want to put it on a scrapbook page, or maybe even want to put it on a card. And so I created these very simple shapes, but what I wanted to do was combine a die with an embossing folder. And they've done that before with Sizzix with certain designs. So I was saying, like, what does it take for me to do that? And they're like, well, you have to keep your shape simple. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, like that's a little bit of a compromise. I'm like, okay, I can do that. So here's what we've got. Let me take this. I will do this in blue. Let's do that. I like that. So if I want, I can go in and I can cut out a shape. So if I want to cut out a butterfly, I can cut it out on my card. But what I love about this, because it's steel rule, is forget cardstock. I'm going to go to the good stuff. I want to do grunge. You know, grunge board, chipboard. I can now make big shapes or big frames. So I'm going to lay that down. I'm going to place this between my cutting pads, run this through the machine, and so now I have a shape. So my shape, besides that it's a big shape, I've got a great frame now. So if I was to cut this on a large surface, I can put this over a scrapbook and now make a frame out of it. But these also come with a matching texture fade. So when you buy this, both of those are in the same package. So that's included. So it's not like, you know, I've done other things with like the tattered poinsettia and all of that where you have to get the die and then you have to go find the texture fade. This is packaged together and it's the butterfly, the dragonfly, and the bee. They all come that way. Yeah. So to me, that's as simple as I'm gonna get. So I'm like, come on, work with me here, guys. Because they're like, well, maybe you can just smooth that out. I'm like, come on, work with me here. So what's cool is that now I can take that shape and put it right into my embossing folder, and we're going to emboss it. So I can remove the shim, because I don't need that. But I am going to work on my platform. Place this out, put it in the machine. And now I have all of my details. So let's talk about when we have the detail. I can take some ink pads, take things like the Distress Minis, take our blending tool. There we go. Pretty cool. All of those shapes and designs. And if you like to do embossing, you can go in with embossing powder. If you want to outline it even more or detail it, remember you can still go direct to paper. So if you want to do direct to paper to really accent that, and then you can still go in with your blending tool and soften that out, you can do that as well. So to me, that's what makes these really fun. If you didn't want to use the die, remember this is still a texture fade. So you could just go ahead and put this right on the front of a card and you don't have to worry about cutting out a shape. So you still have a useful texture fade. That's why I wanted the outline included. Because otherwise it'd just be like a bunch of spots. Speaking of spots,